colleague, Carter Hutton, joins us. Huts, how you doing? What's going on?
I'm doing well. I love you at the Ford dealership. I'm a F-150 guy, so I don't know what Demers is talking about that car for. This is we're a truck guys. Come on.
Is Demers still in the waiting room? No, he's gone. Yeah, okay, so I can say this. Yeah, he's soft. He's not an F-150. Demers is rocking around with his eyebrows nicely done and his cute little pea coats and whatnot. Come on, yeah, F-150 guys.
Unbelievable.
And Bronco. Yeah, okay, and Bronco.
There we go.
All right, I want to talk a little bit of goaltending with you, and I want to do like a little film breakdown here on the 4th Dallas goal. AB, we can run the clip and play it a few times here, Carter, but a lot of people were getting on Stuart Skinner for this one. Is this 4th goal all on the goaltending? Is it more on the defensive breakdown? Is this truly a weak goal from Stuart Skinner? When the clip loads, what do you make of that play and Robertson banking it in off him?
Honestly, it's both sides of it to me. It's a play that can't go in. It's a goal from that angle where he is, but it's an educated play by Robertson. Goaltending and goal scoring is always a game of cat and mouse, and guys make adjustments. And this is something I dealt with later in my career. I remember I gave up a goal very similar. Connor Garland scored it on me because I would go skate on post. And when you go skate on post, there's a little bit of a gap now. And these players understand that. So what Robertson's trying to do is, as Stuart Skinner here goes skate on post, he waits to get below the goal line to create an angle where he can bank it off of. And Skinner's actually not in a bad spot when he has his blocker down on the ice. It's when he feels a little bit of his weight loss. As he gets around here, he starts to lift a little bit. And then you can see the puck just bank off the post and then off his pad and in, where what we normally would do now, and most guys do, I played with a lot of younger goalies do it. They add like a 3 or 4 inch lace from their skate to their pad. And then what they do is they go on their toe bridge and the lace right on the post. Then what happens is the bridge of your pad, the toe, sits right on the post, and then that eliminates that opportunity. So, and the other good thing about that is when you hit on your lace, you can use that as your anchor point as you swivel in RVH. So this is honestly not a great goal in I hate to be critical of it, but it is a very smart play by Jason Robertson and not a mistake by any means. He knows what he's doing. He's practiced this. We see this a lot when we talked about Zadorov scoring in the last earlier in the playoffs, where he would get down below the goal line and shoot just at the goalie's head, right? These guys understand. They work with their goalie coaches. They see trends. And this is literally Jason Robertson being a student of the game and just making a smart shot. But for Stuart Skinner, he needs to stay on that post. And when you are committed and you kind of are a little bit off balance, you don't have your post, the biggest thing he needs to do is just try to seal as quick as he can against that post.
Can you explain what the RVH is? Because Henrik Lundqvist also came out and said that, like, it's not good, and now we've seen it affect Skinner twice now, I think. Yeah. So what exactly does that mean? Please explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Okay, yeah. So I don't, for lack of a better name, I guess because we're goalies, we couldn't come up with anything very creative. So how we used to play it would be called a VH, where your one pad is vertical on the post and your other pad is horizontal across the goal line. And so what would happen is when you get in that position, you're really locked in. So what changed was we became the RVH, which is the reverse VH. So what you're seeing is the horizontal leg would be on the post, and then your other leg, your anchor leg that would be in the middle of the net, would be up. So it's a really good tool to have for changing angles, for making adjustment, especially now when I talk about using the post as your anchor point, you can swivel and change your angle. So as a puck comes from below the goal line forward, we can make adjustments on that angle using the RVH. But what happens now is we drop into it too early at times, and players know that. So again, when I talk about the game of cat and mouse, where we start using RVH, so then players start to understand that when we drop into RVH, our head opens up. There's always going to be a little bit of hole that opens up. So what these guys do is as soon as they get to a point where goalies are going to drop into RVH, they shoot pucks there, not even looking at the net. So he's in RVH here. He's locked in where you can see his pad is horizontal and is where normally if he's on his toe bridge, he can use his, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see, but his skate that's in the middle of the net would be his anchor skate, and he can rotate that blade so he can get flat to the goal line or get back out to create depth. So that's the use of RVH. What Henrik Lundqvist, he kind of went to the extreme in my opinion, right? Bad goals go in, but it also creates a lot of good in games. It's the timing of when we use it and where to use it. And I think sometimes it becomes a crutch for some goalies because we rely on it too much.
That's an excellent breakdown.
Yeah,
that is not the VH could have been used there.
That would have.
Yeah, the VH exactly.
VH
it's just
there. Yeah. Do you not think? And what I know we're getting so technical, but like when he reaches out with his blocker to like go and try to poke him, like that also opens up that hole.
For sure. So the biggest thing, in my opinion, in those situations is then it becomes like almost a double block. So it'd be like the same idea. If the puck is coming at my chest and there's a tip threat, I'm not going to just reach my glove in front of my chest because I'm giving up space somewhere else in the net. So same idea. As soon as he drops his blocker, his pad behind it is already doing that job. So we would call that double blocking. Now you have a blocker and a pad in the way, where if the shape he's in right there, if he just sits his blocker in that little hole and then relies on driving that skate back to the post, he's going to be in better shape. So as soon as he starts to reach, Robertson has him right where he wants him. So, and you think about how easy it is for Jason Robertson to make that adjustment. And now he gets around him, and now he just plans the bank, right? That's an educated shot by him, but a mistake by Skinner, and obviously a costly one at that point in the game.
What have you made of Skinner as a whole in this series so far? Like, I think he's bounced back excellently. Even in that game the other night, I thought weak goal, mistake goal aside there, like, he made some massive stops for him. Have you noticed anything in his game that's maybe allowed him to bounce back, or is it just as simple as he needed a reset last round?
You know, I think the reset helped. And even you look at the game in against LA where he gave up 5, he bounced back 1-3 straight after that. So he's been able to do that. And it's something that I feel like he's done a lot this year. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. At times he's been absolutely rock solid. Then all of a sudden the wheels come off. And the only thing I really noticed last game was he got a little frantic at times, where when I look at him in that Vancouver series, I had this conversation with my old man talking about Shelovs. He'd be like, well, he's so much smaller than Skinner. I'd be like, well, they're both 6'4", but the way they present themselves. And I thought in that series, he was so calm and simple, and he really shows like maturity. It's something that kind of comes. I feel like when I played in the NHL, you would play against a younger goalie and be like, man, he's making himself so small. And then all of a sudden you play against a veteran guy and you'd see them off the rink and they're not that big comparatively to myself, but they present themselves bigger. So when Stewart is at his best, in my opinion, he's calmer, he's poised, he's showing, he's managing his depth better. Where I feel like last game, a great example would be the Wyatt Johnson goal. He goes post to post, and again, he hits, we're in RVH, and he kind of mishits, and then he chases the puck out, and he's scrambling around, where he's a goalie that realistically should never leave the blue paint. He's so big, he should be a little more poised, but also in his defense, he made a lot of big timely saves, but you're in the Western Conference Finals. You have to make timely saves. You're not here if you're not making those saves. So I wouldn't really say I'm worried about him by any means. He just knows he has to be better. And with a team like, Edmonton in front of you, if you can keep it at 2 or 3, there's a good chance you're going to win hockey games.
900 goaltending.
Yeah,
That's all we need.
I think one thing that's not helping Skinner at the moment is the other goalies in the conference finals. Like, he's easily 4 of 4. Out of the 4. The other 3 are elite goalies. But how do you think he's stacked up against Ottinger? Because we spoke about it too. It's not like Ottinger's been perfect in this series by any means. I think he was good in game 2, but game 1 and 3, the Oilers got some easier goals on him.
The Hyman goal slid on the ice. Like, yeah, there was a couple there that weren't great.
Yeah,
but overall series save percentage,
and he gets better as the game goes on, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing too, is like how Ottinger throughout these playoffs has been good, like in thirds and in overtimes, and finding the ways to make those timely ones. Someone always used to say to me, as a goalie, it's like not how many saves you make, it's like when you make them. And I think that's been kind of key for Ottinger, where when you look at Skinner on the other end, giving up that 4th goal is a bit of a killer, where you could go back in those games, look at the Marchman save. He made the big save on Duchesne. There was a lot of big time saves he made, but at the same time, when those ones go in, they're kind of killers too. And I've been in those situations, whether it was me giving up or on the bench, part of a team, where when a bad goal goes in per se, it's almost just like deflating, right? You feel it throughout the rink. You feel it as a fan watching the game. Think how the players feel. You're giving it all, and a stinker goes in. It's hard to deal with. But I think for him, he's dealt with so much this year. There's more of a, experience and mental fortitude to deal with this moving forward. So it'll be a big matchup here tonight, and I look forward to him bouncing back.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Dallas is an absolute hell of a road team. Just one more for you to go around the league a little bit. What have you made of Shesterkin versus Bobrovsky? Man, I mean, I saw a tweet from a Rangers fan that was like, boy, the Rangers, it's tied up in this series because of Igor and Fox and Igor and Trocheck and Igor. Like, it's all Shesterkin, man. He's been unreal.
Yeah, he's been electric in that series, and rightfully so. I think Florida has dominated from start to finish in those games, right? But that's the luxury of having a good goalie and a guy that can steal games, right? Is you could get by without, necessarily winning the 5-on-5 play or winning the analytics game by any means by having a hot goalie. And so I think last night was one where the Florida Panthers had to win. Those are one of those ones where I think if the Rangers go up 3-1, that is a team that is going to find a way to win one of the next 3 to close out that series. So Florida's been great. And I think for Bobrovsky, again, you look at the shots last night, even 40-23, Bobrovsky, again, is like those timely saves. So I feel like he's in a situation that Skinner's dealing with. He's not definitely giving up a lot of quantity shots, right? Where you're not getting in a flow and getting a rhythm going, but the quality is high. When there is a chance, you need to make big saves. And for Shesterkin, it's a bit of both, right? I feel like they're giving up a lot of shots and they're giving up a lot of chances. And he's worth his weight in gold right now for the New York Rangers, but they're going to be in tough here. At least 2 or 3 are going to be at home if they want a chance to try to go to 7 here in this series.
And the Oilers are facing a similar spotter. They're in the exact same spot that the Florida Panthers were last night in that Eastern Conference Finals. So it's a big night for the Oilers. What do you think is going to happen this evening? You going to ride with the Oil?
I like the Oilers tonight. Honestly, I think there's like going to be some adjustments to make. Obviously, disappointing. I think coming out in that second period the way they did. I think adding Corey Perry. I know he doesn't add a lot of speed, but just the veteran leadership. I think that is something in the room where you look at the veterans on that team and you look at even Jamie Benn off the initial faceoff in the second period, it almost set the tone for the whole period. And something for me, a lot of games I was the backup, right? So these were times where you just had a 2-0 lead in the first period. You dominated. Your team needs to be aware that there's going to be a big pushback. And I think adding a guy like that and being aware of that at home here is going to be a big output tonight. So I like the Oilers here at home. I'm pretty pumped for this one.
Yeah, it should be an awesome hockey game. Decent start time for you out east as well, 8:30 Eastern. So not bad. Enjoy the hockey game tonight, and thanks for hopping on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on, as always.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.